Yo, what up? Bankroll Tim, battered up. Things have been moving real slow motion. But up in the shop, trying to get these fitted on here. I did paint some of it, boom. It's got a dent in the gas tank, whatever. I had to use a couple different cans of paint of what I could find at the stores, because like I said, the order of paint that I've been waiting on. Now I found some other shit. I told you guys about the other shit, so got some of the other shit on there so that way it's not too glossy. It's funny that this is called a semi-flat, which, you know, you got gloss, you got flat, semi-gloss. Well, this is called semi-flat, so I guess it does have a better look. A lot of people were saying it's got a better look, but anyways. So yeah, that other day with dropping the rear end out, I just cut these because I wanted them out of my way so that way I can get up in here with the gun, the impact, everything better, and get these out. But I did put some basic paint on here. I do have it cut out, but I gotta clean up, I gotta grind it, put the tube in it. Like I said, the cross brace, it's sitting over here somewhere. It's somewhere. Anyways, I'll get that cross brace in here, boom. I do have the mirror fabbed up. This whole outer frame rail right here will be totally clean, and I'll grind it. I'll grind back as far as I can. Grind. Soft wheel grinder, have it all cleaned up. There's a lot of box Chevys out there getting mini tubbed, and for a 6-inch or 26, 28, you know, if the wheels by 11 even, and being a 12 overall, a little bit of a frame notch and a little trim up there, but rarely do you have to tub. I mean, look how far that tub is back compared to the frame, you know what I'm saying? So rarely do you ever have to tub. Now 28's tucking hard as hell. You have to get in there and do some tub work because I think they rub a little bit. So mini tub, yeah, and if you do have the wheel set in enough, you don't have to get out here, but there's a piece of inside tub right there that's very close to the body, but you could actually get up in there and do a little cut and then put a flat piece and tag it to the tub and then put some sealer to the outside and clear wheels a lot better. I mean, that's a lot of area right there to tuck, you know. So again, there's just a lot of the times you don't have to tub these cars. So when these places are telling you, oh yeah, they got to tub it, I've done more cars without tubbing recently than before. 24 is definitely on G bodies, you know. I don't have to tub, but I know what I'm doing. I got a lot of experience with this. Again, these fuel lines, how they did it, it really sucks because normally people would have went up behind that mount and came over, but these guys, like I said, went under and put a piece of metal they screwed, you know, to the floor. So now that sucks because you didn't have to do that. I understand you're getting away from the heat from the exhaust by doing that, but them could have been ran up there. I mean, the stock ones are up there, so you could have ran that up behind there, went to it. Maybe they were a little short on the good braided line, you know. This is that rubber braided whatever, the good shit. Maybe they thought they were a little short, but I mean, to go up that, you'd be over more and you'd be on an angle, but then you would clear everything. So kind of sucks. But yeah, so now with that being like that and them screws being into the floor, it could cause, you know, rust, debris, and start messing up the floor pans or the ass pans of the back seat, whatever you want to call it. I was trying to get it cleaned up a lot better than I do have it cleaned up, but there's spots that got undercoating, which as you can see, that's undercoating. Boom. So it's still, the car is clean as hell, you know. It's cleaned up. It's not fully done. I still got to go back through here. I ran out of scuff pads the other day. Normally I get my scuff pads off of Amazon too, a box of scuff pads. But recently everything out there has been being made a lot cheaper. So the scuff pads are just getting, they tear through so easy. So, and then look at this. You can tell the tow truck had hooked here, bent the frame. But yeah, I did get rid of these metal pans because they don't need to be there no more. But yeah, I'm gonna get it painted up. a lot more heavier paint on there. Boom. I haven't really got towards the front because, like I said, I ran out of paint, and now I got the new style paint. Boom. So all this shit's gonna be done. This side is notched. I know it's on the video. Boom. I haven't finished filling this in yet. I gotta fill it in there. I gotta put some more weld here. I gotta finish off the grind. You know, it's pretty smooth. Just little spots right here. Like I said, this was because you got so much undercoating and the debris in the back. When you're welding, it all runs down, and then as you're welding across here, it starts to bubble up on you. Maybe some wind come through, you know. But it's a little bit. I mean, it's not bad at all for a killer ass frame notch, you know. Like I said, who else is frame notching cars like that? Smooth as fuck. People keep talking shit about the inner wheel well. None of these cars were made for a big wheel. And then they're like, why do you cut it? Well, you have to cut it because it goes over the frame and it sticks out, the e-brake cable and all that. So, like I said, if you sat there with a hammer and die kit, but then you got to be able to get to the back of it. And you can just sit there and tap, maybe heat it, shrink it, stuff like that. But, I mean, we're talking about hours and hours to do that and the cost of the job, you know. Like I said, I'll make a patch panel. You know, maybe I'll start slanging some patch panels, but anyway, radiator support, you can see core support. It looks worse than what it is. I mean, look, that's what my finger and it's taken off. So it looks worse than what it is. Will it ever be as smooth as it was new? This one? No. Scuff pad across there, boom, painted up. Maybe in a year or two, if the car was to be driven a lot outside in the weather, you'd have to touch it up, but if it's a garage kept car and it goes out, I mean, that's a lot of these guys are building these cars. They don't sit outside in the grass and shit like that. So, well, this time I have not notched yet. I did do a better cut of the inner tub, but it's still got to go a pinch higher. Like I said, this car is getting the 26s on it now. Does not need to be notched for 26s, but the deal with the car is the car will be able to go right to 28. That's his main thing. He wants to go 28s. So he had got the 26s and now he wanted to go 28. So boom, we're making the car fit 28. So that way, do the job now, not have to come back later. You know, when I get in here and do this notching, like I said, I cut into this. So I cut this back. So I got to have the lower control arm out of the way. Even on the G bodies, I got to have the lower control arm out of the way. So it's better for me to take everything apart, then get in there, do the notch, then bolt everything together. So some guys that have been waiting on me with G bodies and stuff like that, they're taking their cars to somebody else to put the control arms in, which, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to put control arms in, and it doesn't take a genius to order, you know, the G-body control arms for a G-body. So I'm not saying, yeah, I gave up the info on this and that, blah, blah. I'm saying that I got to take that shit out of my way to do that. So with me, the money that's being spent, you're getting more. And like I said, all my jobs, I clean everything, I paint everything, I clean the wheel wells, I scuff the wheel wells, I make everything look good. You know, these other shops are just tearing your shit apart, putting your new shit on. Only recently did other shops start cleaning and painting their frame rails. And when they first started cleaning their painting their frame rails, they weren't cleaning that much. They were just, you know, undercoating, putting undercoating on it. Over the rust and everything, all the debris on the frame. And to me, I'm sorry, that looks like shit. That's like, see how the frame is here. And you can see that's what whoever did before. This is undercoating, you know. So I'm gonna clean all this shit off. And then when people paint the cars, this is what happens when you paint the cars. And you know, that just happens. So once I clean all this off, I will paint the frame black and this little bottom piece right here. Even if I got to put a piece of tape across here, this should be black. The frame should be black. When you see the car from the side, it should, you know, it should be black. It shouldn't be all blended like that. Is that Kill 'Em All Customs?
Yeah.
Kill 'Em All Customs in the motherfucking house. Uh-oh. And there's the other guy. What's that? Oh, wait, hold on. What somebody will not say, well, other people will not say, that's MSC. That's MSC Race Cars Mike right there. The pro chassis builder. But this guy right here, he's funny. Look at it. Got all these parts right here. Got this 12 bolt dropped off. It's a narrow. Clocked ends, as you can see, the caliper is real high. Clocked ends. Cut all them brackets off there because, of course, super job boxes are going on it. Boom. And yeah, that's what's going on. Still got the 9 that's sitting there, but I told you it was going to take a couple weeks for me to do what I got to do. The Moser axles are quick performance axles that were with that one. Narrowing that one 2 inches on each side. So I got the axles out getting cut and re-splined. That 7.5 is the one that came out of the maroon car from junk. But yeah, let me show you the rear end for the maroon car. Oh, put it on this little rotisserie to paint it. Rear end rotisserie. But yeah, that's that new paint, which, like I said, it's not too shiny, it's not too flat. Boom, it's narrow, braced up. It's got the coilover brackets on. It's got the super drop boxes. It's got the big tube brace across the bottom. The ends, as you can see, with the end. See how the end is on lower than what the axle tube is? So here's the end, and here's the axle tube. So that means over the years, this tube has bent upwards because the bar, when the bar goes in there, makes it perfectly straight off. But you can see it dips down. Then you look at this side. This side has got a dip to it where it's forward. At the end went on a little bit forward because this axle tube had bent back a little bit and up. So a lot of people don't know that stuff, but that's what the bar is for, to put in there and make it perfectly straight. That's not the bar, that's just a rotisserie bar to paint it. But as you can see, it's cleaned up pretty good. That took 2 cans of the new stuff. You know, you got some divots and stuff like that in there from grinding all the other shit off. The welds on there, which you can see, there's no hole, it's just shadow. But you can't consistently weld it all the way around because if you had it on the rotisserie and then you had somebody to turn it as you were welding it, you know, machine style shit, then it would be perfect. But that's what it is, you know. It's welding, it's painted. It's going to be up underneath the car. It's going to work good. Boom. So that's what that is. This is for the maroon car. Boom. I know you guys have heard it over and over and over. It will be done in a couple days. Again, you heard that over and over and over. I've been trying to get back to everybody that I can get back to on all the platforms, social media. And then, you know, you got that other dumb shit that happened that people heard about and saw, IG, all that. I just can't stand when people can't give credit where credit's due. Not saying a motherfucker has to walk around being on my nuts talking about bet it up, bet it up, bet it up, bet it up, bet it up. But it's like when certain shit, you know, it's okay to say bet it up customs. Yeah, woo, this was back in the day, this and that, whatever. But when you walk around and you act like bet it up didn't have nothing to do with you today or with your car, that's just fucked up. Well, Bankroll Tim, bet it up. I learn as I go. There's so many people out there I try to be 100 with, which I'm the 100 side, you know what I'm saying? But then motherfuckers want to get in their feelings and then say I'm in my feelings. Motherfucker, it's real shit. Keep it real. Keep it 100, you know? But yeah, Viking coilovers, boom. Got the 12-inch shock for the back of this box Chevy, which is a C209 shock, 12 DP 250 spring. That was the other thing. Motherfuckers gonna get mad at me for doing YouTube and telling people how to do this stuff and this and that. How the hell you gonna get mad at me for letting people know? Again, you probably heard me say it over and over. The bracket kit for Welding, 7971-101. So that gives you your coilover brackets for the bottom, gives you your welding tabs for the top, gives you all your bolts. The way the front coilovers go together, you know, with this lock plate going on the bottom first, this going on there. It's got that little separation piece right here, boom, boom. So that way when you put the 2 wrenches in there, you got a little gap, so you're not catching both of them. You guys with the anti-seize, you do not have to cake this whole thing with anti-seize. Not even on a back coilover. A back coilover welding does not even need anti-seize on it because the spring gets set at a certain height. Boom. And if you do have to adjust it, you put the car in the air, it hangs. You can twist the back so easy that it don't fuck up the threads or anything. You never have to put an anti-seize on the backs. A screw-in or a adjustable height, a bolt-in coilover for the back. you still don't have to put, it's so easy to turn the backs. When you're trying to turn the fronts with no anti-seize on them, yeah, you'll fuck the fronts up, but you still only need within 3 inches of an area. So when you put the front in there, I'll show you on this car. I've said it before. So when you set the spring in here, see how high I went with the anti-seize? Which I didn't even cake it on there, because I know when I put it in the arm, I know where the base set is. And then my spacing between here to there with a 28 probably be 3 3¼ inches. And this being a 550 or a 650 spring, there's a little difference. But once you start to turn that up, it's in there. Once you start to turn it up, it'll drag that anti-seize up. So you don't have to cake the whole thing on there. Because now once you cake all that anti-seize on there, front or back, all the debris, if you're not going to wipe it off after you set it, all the debris that's in the air and you're driving down the street, all the fucking shit will stick to that. And then you just load it up and it looks like shit. So again, you do not have to fully, yes, it has a yellow caution thing in there to put anti-seize on the threads. Put anti-seize on the threads of where you're going to be adjusting to, you know. Don't fill the whole thing up. Anyways. So, bet it up. Bankroll Tim. When my cars come out, just like this one, I'll have it posted in the parking lot. I'll do a little video of it driving in the parking lot. I will get my fat ass on the ground and I will show you all underneath the car, the suspension, all that, and show you what you're getting. I don't just park a car outside on the curb, take a picture, and be like, yeah, and then turn around and say, all I'm dropping is hits. Well, if you're dropping hits, or whoever, whatever shop, you blah, blah, blah. That's the first I heard of that. And I've been doing this since 2006. So I want to talk about the list of hits that have been out there, and then let's talk about the list of the guys that don't want to fucking even claim that It Up Kustoms did their shit. Whatever work got done in the house of It Up Kustoms, which every shop that I've had, all these big cars that got done in the shop, it's under It Up Kustoms. No matter who worked on it, it's It Up Kustoms. Anyways, Bankroll Tim, Bet It Up. Didn't anticipate this video being that long. So I know a lot more of you guys are paying attention to shit, and some of you skimmed through it, and somebody was YouTube's got stories now, so I put up that rear end on story, and somebody saying something about you don't even know how to weld and this and that, blah blah. Well, anybody that wants to say that, I'll tell you what, come use my machine and come put a weld down on the rear end. Come set it all up and put a weld down, and I'll put a weld down, and we'll see whose weld actually works. You might have a weld that looks better, and it might be a little skinny. You guys, there's MIG welding and there's TIG welding. MIG welding is what I use. I don't TIG weld. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I do all this and I do all that and I'm the king of the world. Woo, woo, woo. I'm the one fabricating in the shop. I'm the one doing the cutting. I'm the one taking apart shit. I'm the one doing the measurements. And when it comes to welding, taught myself how to weld. I watched my brother do it for fucking years. Boom. And like I said, I'm not perfect, but the weld is in there and the weld is penetrated. I beveled both edges, boom, so that way you fill it in. There's a little bit of a gap in between when you set this, and from this outside edge to this outside edge is 16 3/4. That's what this rear end needed to be. But yes, that little bitty machine, you know, that machine was what, $800 bucks. The welding cart is from Harbor Freight, which is like $150. The bottle, if you lease the bottle, you pay like $100 bucks a year from any air gas company, you know, any place that deals with that. That's argon mix, which is 75% argon, 25% oxygen, I do believe. But anyways, 100%. There you go. So 100% argon is for TIG welding. You cannot use 100% argon for MIG welding. We tried it one time, it doesn't work. But anyways, little bitty welder, boom. And sometimes welding on the front frames or welding a frame tail, a notch, a back notch, it'll overheat, and then you just gotta wait a couple minutes. I blow it out, which that's the other thing. It gets so dirty. You guys can see all the debris around here. You know, the grinding. You know, you can see the floor. It's been swept up plenty of times, and just cutting rear ends, grinding everything off. Everything becomes a mess. You know. And anybody seeing this for the first time in those videos, that is garbage. That's coming out. That's not staying in there. That's garbage. It's not my work. Boom, coming out. DeWalt. That grinder works for a couple of things, cut off wheel, whatever, but the battery goes dead too fast. The Sawzall is fucking perfect, wonderful, nice straight cuts. Bam, as you can see, Sawzall blades, everything. Amazon is the place to go. On the 814 is the best for cutting axle tubes and heavy steel and whatever. 10 TP10 or whatever, however the fuck it goes. It's like for more cutting like thin metal, like 10, like cutting out tubs and shit like that. I teach people. Everything you see in the shop right now, I have done. Everything. All the cars that got finished up. There were some of the cars that had my brothers work on it, but it was done under Bedded Up Kustoms. MSC race cars. Under the house of Bedded Up Kustoms. Any car that he did the work on, I did not claim the work. And if you listen to my videos, I do not claim his work, but that's where I was taught. So anyways, Bedded Up Kustoms, Bankroll Tim. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw this video in front of the video I put up the other week of Juan's Donk, where the audio wasn't on there. It was fucked up. But I know it still got some views and stuff like that, but I'd rather have it with the audio to explain. I know there was video pieces of it before that were short little videos, but I'm gonna put it on this video right after I'm done talking, so stay tuned. I'm gonna add that video to this video so that way everybody can hear exactly what was done to that car and how I've done that car from day one. Every bit of it has had to be changed over the years, and there's some stuff that worked, some stuff didn't work. Trying to figure out the right spring rate and stuff like that to make the car work. The car's got 10-inch coilovers on the back now. We probably should go back to 12s, but the car works. He's happy, and if he's not happy, that's the first I heard of it. But Juan, mr75 Caprice, twin turbo Donk, coming up. All right, y'all.
What up, y'all? Now my heat's gonna kick in and make noise. But anyways, frame notched on the side, painted. I said just to clear the road and the caliper. Got a little step to it. I was gonna angle it, but not bad. So in here, put the new brackets on. See a little bit of the weld. It's all right weld. Up there, put the new longer tabs on there. Squared everything up. Welded it all up real good. Got rid of the 3-bar area, welded, whatever. Cleaned it all up best I could. Get my ass up in there with the grinder without fucking myself up. So, that's all cleaned up. Bars are out of the way. Shock tabs are all up in there. Coilover brackets are in there. Welded, painted. Shocks are all set. Got those laying on the desk. Got the side cut out, welded in. About to finish that up. Bolt it all together, set it down. I'll show you guys. So, quick little in and out. So, fade out. Fade in. Now, you have the coilovers installed with the correct clearances. As you can see, there's clearance between the bracket and the coilover. The clearance between the bracket are the spring, coilover, and the gas tank. It's in the proper location. The spring is set at 9 inches from top of spring to bottom of spring. Is preloaded to 9 inches. This will hold the weight perfect. If the car ends up a little too soft right here, you can go to 8.5. Obviously the distance in between here, you can tighten it up a little bit. You never want to loosen. If you loosen, then you kill your shock stroke, and then you make the back of the car bottom out. So as you can see, my shock stroke right now, I have full shock stroke. Now yes, when I set it down under a load, we're going to lose maybe 1.5 to 2 inches, but we still end up with 3 inches of travel. That's what we want. We want 3 inches of travel. Get your 1.5 up, 1.5 down, whatever. But yes, as you can see, basically a nice clean setup. Brackets are all welded back on there, right? All cleaned up. The notch, like I said, I could have angled the notch edges off right here instead of it being a step, but that would have taken a little bit longer, and whatever. This side, same thing. Notice, again, your shock height, the spring height is a preset. That's how the shock works. You can't have the spring way down here because people install it and they can't get the car low enough, so then they're all the way out the brackets, they don't have no more room, then they're loosening the spring out, which just gives you a shit ride. This is where you get your height from, right here. So now I can go up or down with the car, right here, by moving these 2 bolts. Take the 2 bolts out, move the rear end where I want it, bolt it back in. So I still might have to move it, that's why I don't have the nuts on these yet. I'm gonna put the wheels on, set the car down, see how it sets. If I like where it sets, I'm gonna leave it there. If it needs to come up some, I will move this bracket. The gold bracket would go up on the rear end side. So gold would go up a hole or 2. It's like 1/2 inch to 1 inch per hole, but it's all good. So this notch is done. Just painted it. It will dry a little bit less shiny because it's a semi-gloss. So yes, now I will put the wheels on it and set it down. Here we go. And I will have a picture on there that will show, or on here, I mean, that will show the height of it before and the height of it now. All right, give me a minute. Fade in. You know you're doing something right when your car is squatting on the lift. That's because coilovers don't need that much travel. So when you lift the car up, the rear end don't hang all stupid. But yes. She's all hooked up now. You got the caliper clearance to the frame for the notch. Ooh, that's bright. Coilovers are all in the right position. Already put the control arms in this car. I don't know why you put all these washers on here, but you didn't even tighten the bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4 aren't even tight. Good thing they were nylon lock nuts, or else they would have fell off. But I just had to tighten all that up. So yes, here we are. About to set it down for like the 3rd, 4th time. All the adjustment. You guys will be the judge when it's on the ground. If I tucked it or not, with clearance. Fade out, be right back. And here we are. This car ain't never sat that low. And it has nothing but clearances. Where it sits right now. We can push up and down on it. It's got the travel that it needs. And that baby is in the dirt. Tuckity tuck. The car will ride right there, no problem. We're 2 people in the back seat. Wish the shop wasn't so close. Be able to get a nice angle on this, but obviously I can't. Heater's gonna start back up, make a whole lot of noise. Put that nice bright light back there to blind you. Yes, there it is. Mr. 75 Caprice. Now his shit is toughened. You guys will see it all year. All year. and it's dark out. I would get you some video of it outside, but it's dark out. That's probably all you need right there. Booyah. Alright, y'all. Appreciate it. It Up Kustoms, Bankroll Tim. And this is what we do. If you want your shit to tuck right, It Up Kustoms. Peace out. Appreciate y'all. What up, y'all? Now my heat's gonna kick on and make noise. Anyways, frame notched on the side, painted. I said just to clear the road and the caliper. Got a little step to it. Was gonna angle it, but not bad. So in here, put the new brackets on. See a little bit of the weld. It's all right weld. Up there, put the new longer tabs on there. Squared everything up. Welded it all up real good. Got rid of the 3-bar area, welded, whatever. Cleaned it all up best I could. Get my ass up in there with the grinder without fucking myself up. So that's all cleaned up. Bars are out of the way. Shock tabs are all up in there. Coilover brackets are in there. Welded, painted. The shocks are all set. Got those laying on the desk. Got the side cut out, welded in. About to finish that up. Bolt it all together, set it down. I'll show you guys. So, quick little in and out. So, fade out. Fade in. Now, you have the coilovers installed with the correct clearances. As you can see, there's clearance between the bracket and the coilover. Clearance between the bracket are the spring, coilover, and the gas tank. It's in the proper location. The spring is set at 9 inches from top of spring to bottom of spring is preloaded to 9 inches. This will hold the weight perfect. If the car ends up a little too soft right here, you can go to 8.5. Obviously the distance in between here, you can tighten it up a little bit. You never want to loosen. If you loosen, then you kill your shock stroke, and then you make the back of the car bottom out. So as you can see, my shock stroke right now, I have full shock stroke. Now yes, when I set it down under a load, we're going to lose maybe 1.5 to 2 inches, but we still end up with 3 inches of travel. That's what we want. We want 3 inches of travel. Get your 1.5 up, 1.5 down, whatever. But yes, as you can see, basically a nice clean setup. Brackets are all welded back on there right, all cleaned up. The notch, like I said, I could have angled the notch edges off right here instead of it being a step, but that would have taken a little bit longer, and whatever. This side, same thing. Notice, again, your shock height, the spring height is a preset. That's how the shock works. You can't have the spring way down here because people install it and they can't get the car low enough, so then they're all the way out the brackets, they don't have no more room, then they're loosening the spring out, which just gives you a shit ride. This is where you get your height from, right here. So now I can go up or down with the car, right here, by moving these 2 bolts. Take the 2 bolts out, move the rear end where I want it, bolt it back in. So I still might have to move it, that's why I don't have the nuts on these yet. I'm gonna put the wheels on, set the car down, see how it sets. If I like where it sets, then I'm gonna leave it there. If it needs to come up some, I will move this bracket. The gold bracket would go up on the rear end side. So gold would go up a hole or 2. It's like 1/2 inch to 1 inch per hole, but it's all good. So this notch is done. Just painted it. It will dry a little bit less shiny because it's a semi-gloss. So yes, now I will put the wheels on it and set it down for y'all. And I will have a picture on there That will show, or on here, I mean, that will show the height of it before and the height of it now. All right, give me that. Fade in. You know you're doing something right when your car is squatting on the lift. That's because coilovers don't need that much travel. So when you lift the car up, the rear end don't hang all stupid. But yes. She's all hooked up now. You got the caliper clearance to the frame for the notch. Ooh, that's bright. Coilovers are all in the right position. Where we put the control arms in this car. I don't know why you put all these washers on here, but you didn't even tighten the bolts. 1, 2, 3, and 4 weren't even tight. Good thing they were nylon lock nuts, or else they would have fell off. But I just had to tighten all that up. So yes, here we are. About to set it down for like the 3rd, 4th time. All the adjustment. You guys will be the judge when it's on the ground. If I tucked it or not, with clearance. Fade out, be right back. And here we are. This car ain't never sat that low. And it has nothing but clearances. Where it sits right now. We can push up and down on it. It's got the travel that it needs. And that baby is in the dirt. Tuckity tuck. The car will ride right there, no problem. We're 2 people in the back seat. Wish the shop wasn't so clever. Be able to get a nice angle on this, but obviously I can't. Heater's gonna start back up, make a whole lot of noise. Got that nice bright light back there to blind you. Yes, there it is. Mr. 75 Caprice. Now his shit is toughened. You guys will see it all year. All year. And it's dark out. I would get you some video of it outside, but it's dark out. That's probably all you need right there. Booyah. Alright, y'all. Appreciate it. It Up Kustoms, Bankroll Tim. And this is what we do. If you want your shit to tuck right, It Up Kustoms. Peace out. Appreciate y'all. What up, what up, what up? Bankroll Tim, bet it up. Is that Mr. 75 Caprice's Donk up on the lift again? Damn, so it take me like 3 months to get this anti-roll on the back of this thing right, huh? Anyways, all right. Now we got this anti-roll set up. Remember before, there wasn't enough room to go on top. As you can see, it is so tight. Tight. So anyways, we got this under axle mount on. Boom. So I gotta weld those brackets on there. Boom, boom. But now, The problem, this is what they had. Obviously, it's over too far. You can't go in those holes. So I got to re-drill holes, which I already drilled these holes bigger. Let it focus. I already drilled the holes bigger, but obviously it's too far over. So it's got to be here, be straight up and down for everything to work properly. So that's what I got to do now. So I got to go grab another drill bit, do a pilot hole, mark it, all that, blah, blah. But as you can see how far that's over from that, this obviously does not go. So for everybody out there thinking, oh, it's just easy, you just do this, you just do that. No, everything is custom, everything. Had a skirt problem on this side because of the car leaning, which it needs the anti-roll. So it didn't lean so far, and it was rubbing the bracket and bent the bracket down. So I got to move this bracket back a little bit more. It's a little loose, so I'll put the skirt back on. But that happened due to it not having an anti-roll or a sway bar, which this car, you know, doesn't have the holes in the roller control arms for a bolt-on sway bar. Bolt-on sway bar most likely wouldn't have cleared the coilovers. So, anyways, I'm in here getting it right. Booyah. The wind. Booyah. What we got going on over here? Let's see what's got going on over here. Look. Two of the three be talking shit about me.
Yeah, we're definitely talking shit about you, bro. Why the fuck that shit got different screws right there, bro? all my fucking coils.
Hey, how many motherfuckers you had under the hood?
Look, bro. Yo, goof ass. Only take one stupid motherfucker.
Turbo Joe is the real motherfucker. These other two, I don't know what's wrong with them.
If it could be this coil. I think I'm gonna send Lou to get a coil just because we're gonna get a coil.
What's wrong with Baja?
These are LS3 coils, right? Yeah.
Hey, you put the spark plug backwards, bro.
Backwards? The spark plug got put in backwards? Booyah. Alright, y'all. Bankroll Tim, batted up. Over here clowning. Gotta square up the rear end. Looks like it's down a little bit to the left. But it's all good. It's all good. The hardest fucking dunk on sixes. Y'all know it. Bankroll Tim, bet it up. I'm out. Appreciate y'all.